Welcome to Linda's TV show. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. Please, I beg you for this favor, click on that red button that says subscribe. Beside the red button is a notification bell. Turn the bell on so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be the first person to check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you who always come back to watch my videos. Like you know, I present news on daily basis to you. So after watching the video, you are free to criticize and leave your comment constructively. Share the video. Yeah, you can share it to your family, friends, anybody that you can, so that they themselves will be informed. Now I present to you another interesting or informative video which we are going to watch together. Yeah, I'm going to watch.
Mandela is not stable because the apartheid regime were looking for him. He was in and out of prison. Mandela was going in and out of prison, in and out of prison. Mandela was traveling from different parts of South Africa, trying to seek connection. So Mandela was feeling bad for the woman, like a woman supposed to be the woman supposed to be enjoying his husband, and he's afraid. Mandela was afraid that he may die, and that this woman is going to suffer. And he decided the house I think the house belonged to Mandela. He gave the wife to the house, the house to the wife, and said, you know what, let us divorce so that you can live a peaceful life. Mandela decided to divorce the wife and say, the kind of life as an agitator, as a freedom fighter, I don't think you deserve somebody like me. You are far better than what it is. So that was how Mandela divorced his wife, and he met his second wife working as a clerk with a lawyer. That was where Mandela decided to become a lawyer. He was serving his wife, the second wife, was serving as a clerk under a lawyer. So he cited that with tall woman and say, I think he went to visit one of those lawyers or something. That was where she met his second wife. And after he got independent, I think the second wife was also he committed a crime, whether allegedly, a crime that one guy was missing. You remember, a guy was missing, and Mandela, the second wife of Mandela, was alleged, and that was why Mandela divorced her and married a Zimbabwean. Is it a Zimbabwean woman? Was it a Zimbabwe? The last wife of Mandela was Zimbabwe. I don't know. I think it's one of the Southern African women she married. That was the last of his wife. I tell you a story about South Africa, Mandela, and Nelson Mandela. What else can I tell you about Mandela? Let me tell you about Mandela. When Mandela defended himself in a court of law, you guys should go and buy this Mandela book, Long Walk to Freedom. When you are reading it, you think you are watching a movie. You understand? Nelson Mandela defended himself in court. Whoa. That guy gets sense. So Nelson Mandela defended himself. He told them, I don't need a lawyer. And he defended himself in court. But today, he actually saved South Africa. If he was just quiet, if the people of South Africa did not push, they wouldn't get the freedom. After his arrest, they wouldn't get that freedom. That is why consistent is important in life. Whatever you want to go for it. You feel me? The Abdullah, where they asked me, do I want Biafra or I want a betterment Nigeria? Which one Nigeria don't do? Can they fix Nigeria? No. Let the people go? No. Nigeria is floating. Nigeria is sitting on a gunpowder. Nigeria is just floating. Somebody say I'm lacking a fact about Mandela. Baba, anything I talk here about Mandela is true. Don't tell me I have facts. Anything I say here that I know of Mandela is what it is. Don't come here to tell me I should. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you are telling me this. At least you are not abusing me. But whatever I tell here is what it is, my brother. I don't have to be harsh on you. You say I have a huge. What did you say here? Let me read it in. Akon Ayafo, he said, why do South Africans fight black? No, South African is just naive. They are not actually fighting the black. It's just few South Africans who are ignorant that are causing the mayhem in South Africa. Even the white of South Africa are South Africans. Why should they fight the white of South Africa? Nobody should fight anybody. South Africa belongs to the whites and blacks. You feel me? South Africa belongs to every one of them. The white South Africans are already South Africans. So why should they? The guy who was telling me about I haven't told half of Mandela's story. I told you how Mandela moved from one country to another, looking for weapon to fight apartheid regime, looking for support, country that will support them. You tell me I lack knowledge about South Africa. I don't know who you are. I'm not going to bring you into the platform. Please, if you're watching me, when I tell you story, go and do research on it. You are going to see the way it is. I don't just come here to talk. The Nelson Mandela book is big like this. Long Walk to Freedom. Mandela defend himself in the court. I don't know why this guy said this. Let me defend myself now. Did Mandela defend himself in court? Did Mandela defend himself during apartheid? Okay, let's see that. No, not this. Okay, let me just write how Nelson Mandela defend himself in court. How he may not be here, but I think he should be. How Nelson Mandela defended himself in apartheid court. This is something I read. I read it. His statement. This is one of his statements in 1962. Nelson Mandela first court statement. My objection is based upon the fact that our court, as presently constitutes, creates grave doubts in the mind of Africans. That was his first defense. Nelson Mandela International. No, I'm not talking about. Yeah, you find that if you read. Did Nelson Mandela fight for civil rights? Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, you can do all this. I don't have time for all this now. Oh, this is one of his speech. Okay, this one is a common one that everybody. It is an idea which I hope to live and to achieve, but if needed be. When I say Mandela, that guy. No, let me just forget about this one. You see, whether I say Nigeria go better, whether I say Nigeria no go better, it no go better. If it's going to better, let them do it now. The only way to save Nigeria is restructure. Okay? What do I know about the Zulu tribe? I'm not talking about the Zulu now. I'm talking about Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was from Eastern Cape. I tell you where Mandela come from. From Eastern Cape. Inkpapa. I don't know how to pronounce that place he come from. Inkpapa. South Africa. So Nelson Mandela is from Eastern Cape. What do I know about the Zulu? Not today, but I have an idea. The Zulu migrated from that side of Congo. Do you understand? The Zulu people migrated from that side of Congo. The original people that inhabited South Africa are called Bushmen. The original inhabitants of South Africa were called the Bushmen. That was the people that the white people met. Though the Zulus were also in South Africa. I want you to understand how it works. All of us, we are migrated, but the colored people, those people they call Bushmen. There's another name they call them in South Africa. If you want to know the Bushmen, go and watch the movie The God Must Be Crazy. You are going to know. They use them to make that video. The gods must be crazy. Those are the original inhabitants of South Africa. Yeah, they were there before the arrival of the Zulu people. Before the arrival of the Zulu people, those Bushmen were there already. I'm not here. I don't want to talk about the South African and Zulu, whatever. Let's concentrate on Mandela. Nelson Mandela was also a boxer. How many of you know that Nelson Mandela was a boxer? Nelson Mandela was a boxer. Pa, 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 pa. Babao. Nelson Mandela was a boxer. You know that? He was learning boxing to fight apartheid, Abi. He was a handsome, tall, young man in his days. Who are the same people, Baba? The same people. Which one are the same people, sir? San Koisan. No, they call them Koisan is two tribe. You see, it is good to know global history. Koisan, they call them Koisan. And do you know why they call them Koisan? They call them Koisan because they are two tribes. They are Koi and San. Yes, Mr. Yusuf, you're right. They are called San, but they are Koisan. They call them together Koisan. There are only two tribes of them, and they look the same, and they practice the same culture. They are called Koisan. They are still existing till today, but their culture is fading. Very handsome people, you know. They are the San people, but they are Koisan. Okay, the original inhabitant of South Africa. Because of you, Mr. Yusuf, I will go to internet. Who are the Koisan? Let me just put who are the Koisan. Who are the... I don't know how to spell the Koisan. Okay. K-O, Koisan. Who are the Koisan? Who are the Koisan? You see, South Africa should... You see, South Africans are really marginalizing these people. Their language should be included among the South African language, the Koisan language. Though their language is very, very sluggish. You can't speak their language without using... But they should be included. In the South African have 12 languages, right? It should be included to be 13 languages. South Africans should fight for these people. They are black like us now. Their language should be recognized as one of the South African language. Seriously, this is not a joke. We should fight for these people. Their language should not... Okay, now I want to read from here. Koisan or Koisan is a catch of term for those indigenous people of Southern Africa who did not speak one of the Bantus language. You know them. That is why they call them the original inhabitants. The Zulu is a Bantu language. It's Bantu. And they migrate all the way from that side of Congo, from Congo. Make I just say Congo. Oh my God. Our history is good though. It's good when we know where we are coming from. So okay, let us see. What nationality is Koisan? Geographic projects of DNA sequence of modern Koisan people who are indigenous to South Africa indicated that this group splits from their H sapient. You see this one that they say when they talk about sapient means we change from animal to human. Yeah, changing from apes to human. That's what they are saying here. Yeah, they have their own history to talk. Fine. Sapiens sometimes between 150,000 years and 90,000 years ago suggested that material lineage were well established early in the human history. I don't believe that. I still believe that God created all of us. We are not sapient. What is the Koisan tribe known? Those people today called the Koisan were skilled hunter, gathered and nomadic farmers who live off the land, and yet in splits of their earliest presence on the land, they are among the country most persecuted people, and ever after the fall of apartheid in South Africa, they are among the most forgotten ones. That is why I say South Africans should embrace the Koisan. Seriously, they are people. They shouldn't be forgotten. They should also embrace them. Many of them don't want to come into the society, to the modern South Africa. They still stay in the forest. They still hunt. You understand? But these days they are mixed with people. People come for tourism. People come to them for tourism. They want to make video of them and all that. I think South Africa should look up to this. The first way they ask of Zulu people. At least I've given you a clip of Zulu people, and I'm not going to be talking about anything about the Zulu, King Zulu. I don't want to talk about King Zulu. Make I know they crack my head. My head don't they? Now they make me crack head. You know, talking about King Zulu. I know a little bit of history about Shaka Zulu. He was called King Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu was one of the South African king who fought the apartheid, who fought the white people, the first white people who came to South Africa. You know, Shaka Zulu was not all that bad, but he fought the apartheid, the South African South African, the early arrival of the white people. Do you understand? When the white people arrived to South Africa, they didn't have intention of staying in South Africa. You know, they were just like they are just exploiting the world. Then they found gold. Gold were all scattered where they came. Like, oh, this is gold. And in the process of tracing the gold in the coast, they begin to find the black people. They begin to see the black people in the forest. Like, wow, so people do live here. The black people were also naive to see the white people. There was an attack. They begin to attack each other, and the white people who came at those time to exploit Africa, who finds gold, were comfort. Like, okay, they begin to find it comfort to settle down in Southern Africa. That was when they begin to have interest to settle down, like in South Africa. They begin to have conflict with the nomadic African people who reside in their own domain. They begin to take advantage of the black people and shift them. And the reason why the apartheid settled down in South Africa is because of the weather. The weather of South Africa was far better than the European weather. The European weather was too harsh, but South African weather was also too cool. They begin to call each other to come from Europe, Holland, Germany. They begin to come, Finland. They begin to come. They came to build South Africa, and they marginalized the black African people. Shaka Zulu fought the black people until he died. I think Shaka Zulu was also killed by the white explorers. I would say the white explorers. You understand? At a certain point in the history of South Africa, of Shaka Zulu, he was betrayed by his own people. Shaka Zulu was a warrior, and he was betrayed by his own people. And I'll tell you for free what Shaka Zulu did that was not okay. What Shaka Zulu did that was not all right. Shaka Zulu was eliminating all the short men. If anybody at a certain age, if you are not tall, Shaka Zulu will tell them to find the person. You know what I mean? That was the worst thing that Shaka Zulu did that I did not like in the history. All the long short men, they have to be taken off. The reason is not far-fetched, because they need a tall man to fight the white people. Do you understand? They need huge men. They want everybody Shaka Zulu wants men to be huge, so that they can be used to fight the enemy. And that was why he was taking down all the short people in their community at that time. That's one of the history. If you don't know, you know. What's it again? When I want to tell me, what you again? Which story you again? Want to tell me? Shaka Zulu was a strong man. He also catch lion with his own hand. Yeah, Shaka Zulu. We were told that he catch a lion and he was a very tall man. You know. And let me tell you another story. Do you know that some of the white people later they become friends with Shaka Zulu? Shaka Zulu now, you know where they come from. They don't marry two wives. One of the whites, some of the white married two. They give them white South African ladies. Shaka Zulu begin to give them many wives. They were happy about it, like, oh, this place now enjoyment, oh, so you can marry more than one wife. They begin to marry wives left and right. That's another story that was interesting. So some of the white people, they begin to live among the Zulu people. They lived among the Zulu people because they were enjoying the women. Like, oh, you can marry more than one wife. Zulu begin to give them wives. They begin to marry. They become polygamy. Hey, I didn't want to talk about. I am not preparing to. You know, sometimes when you guys give me inspiration to talk stories, to talk histories. These are the history we should be knowing, all of us in Africa. How the beginning of South Africa, they were from the Bantus. The South African were from the Bantus. Shaka Zulu, his ancestors also migrated from the Bantu to South Africa. Carolina Carrington say, yeah, please marry me. Yeah, that was what the white people were. They were just like, so people can marry free. They really enjoy our African women, no. I'm not talking about the apartheid time. You know, the appetite grow. The appetite grow with time. The appetite, the white people begin to take the whole land. They begin to migrate in quantum and begin to build South Africa. And do you know what? Indian South Africans. I don't enter another story again. I don't want to go deep talking about the Indian South African, but let me just talk about Gandhi. No, don't let me talk about the Gandhi. Let me talk about the Indian South Africa. They went to Indian. The apartheid, when they were building South Africa, they went to Indian to bring the Indians to South Africa to build South Africa for them. They were using the Indians as energy. The Indians were used. That is why in South Africa today they are Indian South Africans. How many of you know that they're Indian South African? How many of you know? Maybe some of you don't know. They are Indian South Africa. When you go to Cape Town, where is this in Cape Town that South African Indians are? When you go there, you think you will think that you are in Indian. So the Indian South African were they used them as the house boy, house girl, and they were the builders, the construction of South Africa. The Indian were the one used in constructing South Africa. So today they become South Africans. They were more accepted into the society than the black South Africans. Do you feel me? The apartheid regime accept them into the society than the black South African that they met, that own the land. So today, South African Indian. Okay, let me give you a history of South African Indian. Let's go to the Google. Let's go to Google. Who are the South African Indians? Let's go and talk about it. Who are the South African Indians? Who are the South African Indians? Indian South Africa are South Africans who descended from intento laborers. Do you hear the English? Intendo laborers and free migrants who arrived from British Indian during the late 1800 and early 1900. The majority lives in and around the city of Durban. Yeah, Durban is one of the largest ethnic Indian populated city as outside Indian in South Africa. Yes, Durban. I went to Durban. I've been to Durban. When I go say Adewaka, now woman carry me go Durban. Now something must kill a man. I enter motor all the way from the capital city of Pretoria. Come dey waka dey go Durban wey take me how many hours because of Bekus. Something must kill a man. Man must not live by bread alone, isn't it? Of course. That was a joke anyway. Yeah, but I went to Durban. I also went to KwaZulu Natal. No, I didn't go to Durban. Sorry. I went to KwaZulu Natal. When you go to Natal and Durban is just close by. I went to KwaZulu Natal and Durban is close by. I've never been to Durban. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't Durban, but they are Indian too. Indian lives everywhere in South Africa, but that is their domain. Okay. Why should they hate when they call them Indian? They are Indian. Indian is Indian. There's no way. Their culture is not lost. All these 3 cycles where they use now for.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.